This is the bottom line Liberia, and we say welcome again to another edition of the bottom line. In fact, this is the final edition of the bottom line Liberia for the month of January 2023, the first month in the year. And so we've gone 31 days in the year, and bottom line is here to close the curtain on January of 2023. Let me say welcome to Paul the Lord Chiripe from the UK and also Mr. Jamal Kamara from the UK. And guys, how are you doing? Paul, unmute yourself.
Good evening, gentlemen, from my end, and to our viewer wherever they are. Good morning, good afternoon. The Lord Cholope is here in the UK, precisely in Croydon, and he's happy to be back to be with you guys today to share to have some interesting conversation. How you guys doing?
Well,
Well,
I am good.
thank you very much for having me once again. It's good to always be on the bottom line. Nice to have you guys again. We're going to be discussing. I know we're going to be discussing some issues that are making news in Liberia, and it's going to be quite interesting. Wherever you are, we want you to share this video, share our link, and we'll be on the radio very soon. And we got some technical issues. We got technicians that are working on it. At the same time, also will be on the YouTube. Please, wherever you are, if you catch up anywhere, share this, and it'll be quite interesting discussion tonight.
And just before we proceed, as usual, uh, uh, well, I really wanted to put on that picture. I don't know how many of you saw the sky yesterday or around 4 o'clock, 5. I don't know whether it appeared in the UK, but we had a beautiful something in the sky. And I talked to an old lady. She told me, she said, this thing happens, I think, almost every 100 years. She said her grandmother used to tell her about it. And she had never seen it. And we both two talk about it for long. I have a picture of it on my phone. Probably I'll give it to Paul and he might put it on later on to conclude the show. But it was very interesting. The thing is not rainbow, but it has all the colors. It's a sky, it's like a cloud. Okay, and the design was very special. It has all the color: red, blue, green, yellow, everything, gray, everything. And of course, rainbow does not have gray, so that makes it not to be rainbow. So, and then after that, the weather was very clear yesterday. And then today again, we had small snow for about 30 minutes from around 1 o'clock until 1:30, 1:45. So, but our weather is getting much better. I think we got like maybe 10, 15 minutes added to the daylight. So we're proceeding. But how is the UK, guys?
Guys, UK is always good. UK has a very nice weather and it's not cold as compared to that of the Scandinavian. We are thankful. We are doing great. I think it's a bit wet here, but it's not raining today. We're doing okay. Weather is freezing cold, which we all, if you live in the West, more especially on this part of the world, you gotta get used to that. In any case, we're doing okay. We're great with that.
Yeah, on my end here, it been a very beautiful day. The weather, I mean, I was out there with my jumper on, so we had some little good weather today without rain. So, yeah, it was nice. And I guess
Okay.
in Norway, you guys still fighting snow.
I told you, again, we had, and the people are very accurate. We were having lunch at about 11:30, and one of my friends said it's going to be snowing at 1 o'clock. And when I look at the sky, of course, the sky was gray compared to yesterday that was very bright, that we could see the blue sky, but the sky was gray today. And the guy said by 1 o'clock it will be snowing. So I was still like, okay, man, let's see. Because normally for me, I need to check the weather. I need to check the weather on my phone. It can deprive me. So around exactly 5 minutes or one, the small one was started to come down. By 1 o'clock, it was coming. I said, hey, so how did people manage to know? How? So yeah, the one man, the people they gone. I mean, let's get that credit. The people they study, they gone. But however, they are not smarter than us because blind men also discover a lot of things. The washing machine you use in your house, that blind men, the traffic light that you got in the street, that blind men discover it. Even the pressing iron, all the things that black people discover, all the things. But then, seeing all I call it, washing machine, they get Alliston, all the kind of thing they put at the only instead of Yapalo, they put. So, guys, we're going to have a beautiful show tonight. So, for those of you just joining us, this is the Bottom Line Liberia. If this is the first time, please stay with us. Let's go for an interlude of music, and we will be coming back to go straightly into our discussions tonight. We're going to be on the radio simultaneously and on YouTube, and we are on Facebook. So, thanks for joining us, and please help us to share the video.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not to corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
say welcome again to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line, and this is the program that brings you all of the information that you need from Liberia. We discuss the issues from top to bottom. We give our opinions, and our opinions might not be right. They are not wrong either. And so I have with me my co-panelists, Mr. Jamal Kamara, there in the UK, and Mr. Paul Lord Chilple is also in the UK, and together these gentlemen and I will be bringing you some serious discussion this evening. Basically, we will be looking at some segments of President Weah's annual address to the nation. It is not called the State of the Nation. According to Article 58 of our Constitution, it empowers the President of the Republic of Liberia to give an annual address, not a State of the Nation address. State of the Nation address is only given by the American president, and that's it, and not Liberian president. But a Liberian president do give annual address to the nation. And so we'll be looking at some segments of it and dissect it, give our opinions on it, and we'll look at the opposition response, not the opposition in general, but the CPP stroke ANC will respond to what President Weah said yesterday, and we'll be bringing you that. And we'll see a drama that unfolded in the House when Representative Jacob Kolba was also there to make his presence felt on behalf of the opposition. And if time permits us, we'll be looking at Prince Johnson's jabs at the government of Liberia. He accuses the government of lying in the death of the auditors. And so we'll be bringing you some detailed information on that. And does it really look good for the coalition of democratic change, the CDC, when some of its collaborators are threatening to leave? All of that coming up tonight on Bottom Line. Stay with us. Help us to share the video. And if this is your first time coming, we say welcome and make this place your home. Gentlemen, again, let me say good evening and welcome. Your intro, quick, Paul.
Well, good evening, guys, from my end, and good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching us. I would like to say it's great to be back on Butterland this evening to have a fruitful discussion, as you said, Linfa. And to our viewers, I will kindly ask you to please share the show so we can. I mean, we're going to have a good discussion tonight. So I hold my thoughts, Linfa, until we get into the president and the opposition rebuttal. Thank you.
Jima,
Yeah, Paul, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
you have an echo, please.
I still have echo, do I?
Yeah, you still have. Try to
Hello?
adjust your monitor.
Okay, you guys can go ahead, then I'll jump
No,
back.
you're okay now.
I think you are okay.
I'm okay?
Yeah,
I was okay?
that's
You're
good.
You're okay.
All right. It's good to always be here at the bottom line every evening, to discuss issues that are making big news in Liberia, more especially from the bottom of our very hearts, to talk about what is happening in our country. And that's what we can do as far as we are far from our country. So I'm always happy to be on this platform.
Okay, and let's welcome the only lady with us tonight, Mary Masokwe. And Mary is also in the UK. But you see, and the equation is unbalanced. 3 people from the UK. I'm the only one struggling from the Scandinavia, but we own it. Nobody will leave us behind. We own it. Rita is not here tonight, but we're there. So, Mary, let's say welcome to you. You are muted, Mary. Good.
I got the cold, so my voice will be a bit.
Yeah, we understand. This is the cool season, so all these things are accepted. And so Mary, quickly, can you give your intro quickly to the viewing public?
Hello, everyone. I'm Marie. Marie Massaquoi. I'm from London, and I enjoy being on the show all the time. I'm a business manager, and so always looking forward to the topic. Like tonight's really good. Tonight's a good topic on tonight. Unfortunately, I have a very terrible voice, so I'm going to be putting extra pressure on it to clear it out. for you guys to hear me properly. So yeah, looking forward to everything we're gonna say tonight from the gentlemen's. Yeah.
Okay, good. At least the people know that you are here. So, guys, yesterday was the 30th of January 2023, the long-awaited 2023. And so today is the 31st of January 2023. And so we have wrapped up 1 month in 2023. And it seems from my end like we have 9 more months to go to elections. And we don't know whether things are on course. It's not our part to say they are not on course, but from what we see, we know that everything is not correct. But then the president of the Republic of Liberia has a duty. That is every year in January. I just missed that part. I tried to research it, but I don't remember well. But I think the second Monday or the third Monday in January, the president should be able to give his annual address. It's called annual address because it happens once every year, every January of the year. The same way the president is inaugurated in January, so his annual address comes in January. And so yesterday, the president of the Republic of Liberia fulfilled that constitutional duty, and he spoke on a wide range of issues, some of which were blatant lies from my own perspective, and I think from the perspective of the public as well, in public court or in public opinion. Some were blatant lies, and some were true. Let's give it. Some were true. But tonight, we cannot, for time's sake, we cannot exhaust the president's speech. So we'll look at certain part of it, and we will be discussing that. And we'll let the public also give their opinion. So we're going to open the phone line at a certain point. If you have, or the phone lines are open throughout. If you have any input, you can call us, and we'll be giving you the time to give us your opinion. So, guys, the president talked about security. The president talked about the economy. The president talked about development, that is infrastructure, like he mentioned roads and all these ones. But I want us to look at security. And the reason I want us to look at security from the president's speech is because security for me is the bedrock of everything. Let me just give a background and then we can go. When I say security is the bedrock for all development in the country, you can have enough food to eat. That is, the agriculture is booming. Everybody got 10 bags of rice in their house to eat. You are working, the economy is good. You're taking your pay regularly. You got enough money, which can attract criminals though. Okay, you are well, you're not sick, good hospital, but no security. So you can have all of these things. If no security, you go to bed in the night, you're not sleeping, you got to pull 10 iron tools to your house. It doesn't matter. So that's why we chose to discuss the topic security. The president talked about security. Generally, I want us to take a round. Paul, you've been following developments since this government came into power some 5 years ago. How will you assess security under this president or under this leadership?
Therefore, from the get-go, the president told us Liberians that we should purchase CCTV because the state could not handle the threat that were coming from criminals. So he asked us to have CCTV. Although to have CCTV, you also need electricity. So security-wise, a lot of people have died mysteriously, and unsolved murder that have happened. A lot of young girls are being raped, boys are being sodomized. So when he talked about security for the 5 years that he been in, I think it's a complete failure. So until all of those things, and security also have to tie in with the stealing that is going on. So I don't see how security I think it's a failure from what I've seen, being on the ground, live on the ground with this regime. Security. After 6 o'clock, you can't leave your area unless you have car or group of friends going out. So security is a failure.
Chima,
Thank you very much. You hear me loud and clear?
yeah, but we echo.
Okay. I'm answering who again?
You got raise your voice, Jamal.
Yeah, you still got the echo.
Still got echo?
Right.
I'm okay?
Yes, okay, flow.
Right. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. I think it's my system. I got something wrong. Yeah, this is very laughable. You know, the very president suffered some theft the last time in his own house. You know,
Yeah, but Chima, you still got the echo. You still got the echo. So
somebody else to go in his house and took some of his properties.
Chima, if you can lower your monitor, I think there's a monitor you're listening to. It's still got the echo.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, very good.
I think I'm okay. I'll just
It's low.
so that I can fix my system quickly.
I can hear you low.
Okay, while Chima is working on that on his stuff. So, Mary, we're talking about security generally because I remember the last time you told us on the show that you have not been to Liberia for a while now, but I believe you still get news from Liberia. With all these things that have been happening in Liberia, three boys, healthy boys, somebody contracted them to work for him, and they went to do the work. They never returned. Up to now, their parents have not had any information about them. All they know is that they got drowned. They can't find the body. Okay. And the man who sent them to work is going scot-free, as if to say nothing happened. Then we found a healthy girl who has her own business. They saw her with blood oozing from her nose in somebody's compound. I didn't not in the bush, but in somebody's compound. And nothing happened to her. Even the people in whose compound the thing happened to her. Then auditors died. The other one, they chop the hair, chop, the Liberian with the chop the hair all over. They say he was driving car. The car made accident, the car glass cut, all he had like that. Then the other man, they say he was sleeping, then somebody called him in the neck. So he decided to go. Then the tested king, I know Tesla was working a car and kill him. They didn't find the car that hit him. But then when the police came, instead of them carrying the man to the hospital, they took him straight to the morgue. Okay? A patient that car hit repeatedly. Then they take a body to the morgue. Who are you to? So all of this, I'm just recounting some of these things. But the president says security is all right. Since he took office 5 years ago. Though you are not been to Liberia, but you hear all of these news. How do you assess that?
Well, first of all, if he says since they're in power for the past 5 years, security has been good. From the news that we've been here, it's like it's almost the same the war basically, but it's going on. So to be quite honest, I haven't even touched power because there's a lot of ongoing killing that's been going on in Liberia whilst he's been in power. So you see, this is what I was saying back previous to he was booed. That I make the example that every time most Liberians get upset knowing that he's in power, they cry. And that being said, what is currently going on, they're losing the family unknowingly as well. No explanation. No risk assessment, from the president, authority, which is the police. So it asks me how I assess George Weah, most especially on the panel. I believe push on security. He just walking like the same old maybe 1989, April 6th. That's the mindset when I see Josh Weah, that's what I see That's what I see. I don't see him taking security as a fundamental. I don't think he even know what security is. Like for defining security. I don't think he knows. This is why I was referencing to previous to Mr. Cummiings that he takes serious that listen to his business model. Some of the key elements so much on. Please, what he's gonna do.
You're making
Yeah.
very good points, but you're breaking in. I don't know what's wrong with your internet tonight. But
Yeah.
Paul, let me get back to you again, Paul. The president talks about security, and somebody has your monitor, lower your monitor, Mary. He said you can lower your monitor. And also, Mary, if you want to do something like you want to eat something, yeah, it's allowed to eat. But if you want to eat, yeah, tap in the background, yeah, go to the background, and then you can, yeah, you can do what you want to do. But okay, let me see. Okay, but like I was saying, Paul, like what would we contact earlier on? All the mysterious deaths, and then your president will come in the presence of the entire government officials. Somebody has a monitor on. I don't know who is there, but
No, it's fine. Just flow.
okay. So your president will come in the presence of the members of the diplomatic corps, our partners in progress from the outside world. They are all present for your annual message, and then they know exactly what has been happening in the country all the past years, and then you will tell them blatantly, lying in their faces, that security is correct. Or do you think what was the president thinking? What was he thinking, that these people do not follow the news, or what? Or was he thinking that he can, lie to them or try to impress them with fine words? Yeah,
So
because I think
the thing is,
I shouldn't even be asking you this thing because you do think for him, but
for this is laughable, to be honest with you. We all know there have been a lot of bad things happening in Liberia, and everybody aware of it until the president himself told people to be their own security by buying CCTV. So to turn around to say that security is okay, how many people have died that have no one have gone to court to have enclosure? We can go to the Odell Sherman, the princess, Bati Nyeswa, the auditors. I mean, you name it, the security officer, his own security that was murdered, interpreter. So what is this security thing that he's talking about? People does not leave their homes in the night because they're afraid. You have the increase of Zocos because of the hardship. They go behind people, snatching their phone, using net on them. So where is the security? I don't
and,
know. Maybe the president is in a cuckoo land, or he's not aware of what's happening in Liberia. In the president's own house, people broke into his own house, into his bedroom, and stole his television. What is the security that he's talking about? Students were beaten by the CDC partisan when they had a demonstration at the American embassy. We saw police people passing by. Did
and
nothing.
you
What's
talk
the
about freedom.
security?
You talk about freedom of free speech as well.
Yes. So where's the security? There's no security in this country. Everybody their own security. Because of that, they're more justice. If you go somewhere now in Liberia and somebody say roll, 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 by you passing behind someone's house, if you don't escape by the mercy of God, you be dead. There's no security. I mean, that's the truth. There's no security.
Now, the point you made, or Jamal tried to raise that point earlier on, that in the president's own house, he lost his television to thieves. And did that really teach him in a sense that, when they see happening in West Point or in Suniwe, it doesn't really affect me. I got my everything, but now it's happening to me. Did it really click to him that at that point, what is happening in the public or outside there was a scene sample that they show him that there are greater things happening out there. Do you think it clicked to him?
I don't think the president aware what's happening. All he knows, he's seen a good bubbles. Everything when the emperor is being lectured, things are okay, Humpty Dumpty out there. So he believed that things are okay. Because what happened when he leave in a house, he get into a 29-man convoy, he goes to his VIP office, get back. He's not aware of what's happening. So wherever they tell him, that's where he go back. For him to go on air, to address the nation and give that blatant lies that security has been one of the key. How many times people protested, police will use ammo 10 on them, are spraying them with water. Is it sin security? They don't have any. Let's go back 20 when this issue about the by-election happened right after Sir Joseph won the senatorial seat.
Yeah, that was
But Jefferson
2020.
Kochi and he tossed when they beat people up. When the security. Let's just
Taylor
be
Ure
honest.
issue.
Yeah, the Taylor Ure. Go back to Taylor Ure.
Yeah, the
Princess Copper mother went to protest. The security beat on her. You remember? So where is the security that he's talking about? And he talking about freedom of speech. There is no freedom of speech. If you go after, then they come after you. So I don't see why. They say let police so and police so. Where we need to get him a flower, we'll get him a flower about the dual citizenship. I think that's a fair thing that he could say that we all champion it. But there are a lot of things that are going wrong. And he talking about corruption. He's going to fight corruption. And from day one, when it came in, these were the people that were bidding condominium. People are bidding mostly for their parents that died. So where is the thing that he's talking about? I think they want to deceive the people again.
Okay. It brings me to the address again. When he went to do this address, and because customarily, when the president is giving his annual address, it is intended to catalog all of the achievements for that particular year, okay, and the challenges faced.
Yeah.
And if he say has a year ahead or 2 years, then he will give what he intends to do. But this one happens to be the final message to the Liberian people for his administration. Whether he will be re-elected, which I don't believe will happen, but this should have been centered around his achievement for the time he was in office. Now, but this president will bring in activities of the past government and say that his government took over a broke economy. And we talked about some 5 years ago. If his government took over a broke economy, that if the previous government has actually left the economy bad and that people carry on corruption, like he said, why didn't his administration go after these people? And so this one will bring us to the other topic where he talked about corruption, about fighting corruption. Now, do you think that this president, from all indications, from all dreams, from all imaginations, is an image to even stand and talk about fighting corruption, looking at what he has done, he himself plus all of his officials? Anybody can take on. Marie, Paul?
To be honest with you, can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Can you guys hear me clearly now, or am I still breaking?
No, I think you're much better.
Much better now, yeah, because my son put the TV low. Okay, to be quite honest with you, George Weah, like I said, I've been saying on the show, George Weah is laughing at the Liberians. And one thing I'm happy about, I've been following up on his appearance in the church, Mr. Cummiings, what's the guy's name, JNB. And I will tell you this, what I've observed of current is the Liberian people are not like the Liberian that he met 6 years back ago. The Liberian mindset has changed massively since he took power. Only because there has been no war, so the people are still developing, and they are developing beautifully. So George Weah is saying that he wants to fight corruption. He's corrupt himself. So how can he fight corruption? That does not make sense. His son just went to play in the World Cup. We are not stupid. We know all about football. Football is all about money. Where do you get all that money from to invest for your son to go and play? He's gonna tell Liberia, oh, my son was lucky. No, he was not. You stole the Liberian people's money to support his football entries into the World Cup. So you are corrupt, George Weah. So you cannot fight corruption if you are corrupt.
It's like you're fighting yourself.
You are right, exactly. How can you fight corruption? I bet one of his government officials took me out for a drink, and I was a bit worried. He said it's government money. Really? Because I asked for the I said, can I have the receipt? Because he was up here. There's no way we can go to shop, buy, drink, isn't it? Your parking can verify. We need our receipt. So I'm used to that. Every time I got a whole box, like 4 receipts. I saw this guy, no receipt. And I'm like, can we have the receipt? He says, government money, why do you need a receipt? You see? George Weah is giving people privileges in government to spend the money any minute. So, and money to the poor, vulnerable people's money. So, how can you how can this gentleman tell me security is all with corruption? You are not fighting corruption, and security is right. Yeah, just to be quite honest with you, George Weah has disappointment, to be honest. I expected more from George Weah. He's the worst president in office since all of us would have been there. Because this is, he did his one intelligently. He's killing the Liberian people intelligently. The people are suffering. The cost of living is killing them. There's no job. And then he just keeps refurbishing old school. All of the money they're taking for the World Bank. We go on database, we see. And then for you to build new schools, bring new innovation. You keep going to in a swamp, you say the old horse, you say, oh, I finished school. Where's the new build? Where's the new research facilities have you built? You just keep building football. You just keep refurbishing football stadium. Then you go in the swamp. The old horse there. What they're not finished breaking down? You really put cement on top of it. You plan it. No, we are not blind anymore. That cannot blind or the other place.
Yeah, we are now living maybe in 1960, where information, you have to practically buy information or look for it. This time you see that information will look for you. Information will kind of look for us now.
Yeah, if he's watching the show tonight, is where all of the, what are you doing? What, you've been with us for 6 years. You come with a big speed. Oh, you're just giving the thing. Hey, yes, I'm not educated, blah, blah, blah. You see what I can. To be quite honest with you, you have here embarrassed young, all of us here has embarrassed us.
Okay, so Paul, let's hear your opinion on this corruption thing. Your man say he will fight corruption, but yeah, the mayor in 3 months' time he want to bring his old home down and rebuild it when he couldn't do it all those years. Oh, yeah, the mayor, he can ride any kind of car he wants to. Yeah, the mayor, he can go for football game for 49 days. Can you imagine? I mean, I will hear even as poor man as I am and not anything. Even if I get thousands of dollars, I will not just go leave my house and go for holiday for 49 days when I know I have other things to do at home. So
Okay.
your man said he went for corruption. And I don't know how he will find it, whether he will turn over the 49 condominiums or whether he will go to Nathaniel Maggie and say, my man, when we told what he say he told you, can't bring a receipt. So Paul, give me your thought. You know, when I ask you, I know you don't come from Georgia Hill, but I'm thinking whether you can imagine if you were George Weah
If our George Weah,
and
I
you want to
wouldn't
fight
have
corruption.
built 49 condominium and broke my house down in 9th Street to rebuild it. If I were George Weah, I would not
Mm,
fly private jet
mm.
because no one know how the jet is paid for. If I were George Weah, Nathaniel McGee, Serena Silva, and Bill Traore should be in court now to face trial for the alleged corruption sanction that were put on them that he asked them to resign.
And
If I
that
were,
means if you are a clean George Weah that is not involved.
yeah, if I were George Weah, that meant well to fight corruption. Fina Bono with all the property she building, where did she get that money from? From Kuwait settle to now or millionaire? If I were George Weah, all the glass building that Jefferson Kuchi and all are building, where they got that money from their salary. If I were George Weah, there are a lot of things who have happened. If I were George Weah, corruption, they would not harmonize people's salary. That today only few people benefit from that salary. If I were George Weah, there's so many things I could do. The money that he used to build a condominium today will have some little child from Booker Jaleb will be almost like the George Weah that play football for the world to see. So there are a lot of things that he have not done. So fighting corruption is just what a war is BS. It's just political talk. He's not going to fight corruption. If you want to
Okay,
fight corruption, you get the people in. Where about the woman from the agriculture
ministry.
ministry? She was indicted of corruption, of being corrupt. So, is he really want to fight corruption? Maybe Jamal can help me here, but there's so many bad things I see happening. He muted Jamal. He
It's still
muted.
muted.
You
Yeah,
hear me now?
Yeah.
good. You good to go.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. You know, I don't think we should waste time on George Weah here, guys, because it's
Yes, the president though.
no.
Newsmaker.
Honestly speaking, we should not waste time on him because George Weah is already a bad news. It's a bad news. We all know very well that, like, I'll tell you some things he did in our speech. If you give me the time, I'll just go through it. He said, and I
You
want
got
you
5
to hear.
minutes.
Thank you, sir. He said, this is what he said to the people during the meeting. I wanted the speeches. I wanted the line I'll pick up and I'll let you know what he said. Just give me a few minutes here. And it's highlighted in his speech, and I got a full text of his speech here. This is why okay. Well, I'm looking for it. Like, we shouldn't be wasting too much of our time, Georgia. This is what he said. He said, as our fight against corruptions and financial crimes remains paramount, we applaud you also for passage of bills seeking to strengthen our integrity institutions, such as the amended Central Bank of Liberia Act, the Financial Intelligence Agency Act, the Anti-Money Laundering, Terrorist Financing, Preventive Measures, and Proceeds of Crime Act 2021, the new Internal Audit Agency Act. I mean, let's go on and go on. These are all bogus. You don't make up these things just there because you want to be on the paper. So we know what is happening. What Paul has just highlighted. These are things we see. They are visible. So why should we be wasting time telling him about this guy going to fight corruption?
Okay, then thank you very much. But we'll transition a little bit. Now, we are in a political season, and George Weah knows that this is his final year, and then he wants to rerun, or he wants to be re-elected. And so he's coming up with some funny promises again. The man made a whole lot of promises that he did not make good on. Then now he's saying that civil servant salary will be increased. You already own the people, you have not paid them. Okay. So if you took your microphone today and went to Water and Sewer or maybe LEC or any other government agency, they will tell you that we have not taken pay for even January. Okay. Some people have not taken pay for 2-3 months. So then you say does it really worth for the salaries to be increased when you cannot pay even the lower one that you're paying them? So these are all political campaign statements. And this is where Yeke Koluba had problem with yesterday, especially when in that house, when the president is delivering his annual address, there should be diplomats, it should be members of the legislature and top government officials like ministers and things. Instead, they had citizens who were dressed in a regalia and were all there ready to chant when the president said, I, the clap, will, the clap. And you see, the speech took 3 hours and 23 minutes, almost 3 hours and 30 minutes. Not that the speech was that long, but because every word he said will clap. Okay? So, Yeke Koluba also decided to chant on behalf, since Weah was turning the whole thing into a campaign thing, Yeke Koluba also decided to run campaign for the opposition. And in Yeke's own word, if he had 3 or 4 people on his side, they were going to make the whole place unbearable for President Weah and his people. Paul, do you have that clip?
I'm trying to find a clip. It's so funny. Yeah, I have it. So let's listen to this. The cheering squad first, then Yeke started singing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. 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 Thank you.
Guys, looking at that, it's too embarrassing that this president is not only Liberians over there, they have foreign guests, diplomatic people sitting there. Now he going to address the nation. He carry his cheering squad. When he speak one big English language from the dictionary, this cheering squad go, wow. It's like we cheering playground. So Yeke took upon himself to say, well, we can do the same thing too. So it was just embarrassing for the way things are going. I don't know what you guys say, but I laugh over there. Say, well, is Liberia going crazy or what? Is there a serious government that will behave like this? I know Marie will talk about this, but I can see Jamal, he kind of he was. So Jamal, let's start with Marie, and then you can roast this thing. Yeah, I don't know what you guys make of it.
To be honest with you, Paul, when I watched that video last night, I mean, I just got off another meeting, and then I was trying to wind up to bed, and I saw the video. I think Arita put it up on her page. I said quickly because it just got shared, and I was laughing. I was like, "Oh my God!" I mean, that message that he tried to deliver, I was thinking he was like I don't know if he was giving a speech, but it was just this for his own self. That's what I love. Like, is he not distracted? Because this is his last good grounded opportunity to tell the Liberian people this is what I got planned for going forward. And he's there saying, thank you. If you say, yo, everybody gets screaming, they play like to say, I don't even know, it's some football ground. He take everything as a football activity. He take everything as a football activity.
Yeah.
Praying and about.
Paul.
Yes.
Yeah, I could tell you the president's speech, the full text, I can tell you, is about 1,724 words.
Yeah.
The text, 1,724. That should be read under an hour
It took you
because it
4
was
hours.
stage managed. It was done in a way that you could get their attention. It was a campaign message was delivered. So it was stage managed in a way that got these noisemakers in the cheering squad or whatever you call them. They should not have been in that building.
Exactly.
That's the first thing they made. They allowed them to go and just every little statement he makes, make sure you just applaud it. So 1,724 words. That's a total speech. That's the full text of the president's speech. Should be read in an hour. That's giving just at his own pace. Should be read in an hour or giving in an hour because he's reading speech. He was not even giving speech. Reading speech and giving speech, two different things. So this is what this guy was doing. So the whole thing was stage managed in order to get his attention that he's popular. They still want to show that he stay popular or consider that what's going around in the country right now. This is what all about. So that's the CDC are good at. Make this up and the president stay popular. Look at it, put turn up. If his speech was, it was climax with a lot of attention, clapping and shouting. So, and this is why I like Yaka Kolba sometimes. That's why Yaka Kolba is. He come up to tell the but this is not what you accept. People sit there and fold their arms and think, well, this is, we want to be respectful, we want to be diplomat here. This guy said, no, this is my country. I can't take this. This is complete BS, as you would say. I'm going to respond. And he responded. And that's why the president think that he was applauding him, but telling him thank you in order to cool him off. Kind of want to calm him down in a way, but Yaka was the other way around. So if he had 2 or 3 persons that would have, the situation would have gone the other way around. Person would have understood the situation and behave well. But the noisemakers were there should have not been in the first place. We should have been barred by the House or the Speaker, but he didn't do it. They all set up. They did it in a way to get his attention. You see, this is how Liberia is, Paul. They will do the way they do because they are there, and this is the power of the day, Paul. You can't change anything. And we keep saying that for people to see it. Nobody will say anything. If it's not thinking the news, this is one thing I don't know what tomorrow going to look like in the major news headlines. Where they should take news, got news, the news gather attention. Where these things are unacceptable, should not be allowed in the House. When the president gave his annual message, we want to listen, we want to see what he has delivered or what he has done over this period of time. Nothing could be heard. They were all noise. So we should stop these things.
So Linfalo, you've been doing this press coverage for a long time. I mean, you've been as a journalist, you've been seeing it for years. Was that ever happen those time or the Charles Taylor time that we carry charge squad in the house?
Well, not to my recollection, because when I worked as a journalist, I was not legislative reporter, though. Especially when I worked during the Taylor time, I worked directly at the executive mansion, so I was on the executive coverage. But however, from my observation from Trouble Town until now, this is the first time I've seen that because, I always try to go back to retrospect when I see, the way things are running in government presently. I always like to drop back and make my own comparison and analysis. Imagine a House Speaker, Rachel A. Henrys in the House. Imagine all the big boys in the House. And then you have a group of people, ragged tie people, come and sit down somewhere up there. I mean, at the balcony, and when Tower is speaking and they clapping. No. I mean, the people have taken away the dignity from our government. I'm telling you the truth. Because even when I hear that people are driving hotel lane in Liberia, that's something that we saw in the past. When you used to see that LEG, it used to be LEG1. I think which was the president pro tem or what? The LEG2, according to that category. Those days, when you see any of those cars with that black license plate, with that flag, the Liberian flag and the country flag fly on it, man, you've got to come to attention. Then you know that a representative is coming. or a senator is coming. But what we have now, just a bunch of clowns that go there to amass wealth for themselves. It's all because of the money. No, let me tell you, if there were other jobs that paid lucrative salary, more than what the guys get in the house, you will not see some of them going there because some of them don't belong there. Trust me.
Yeah.
But again, the mistake that we made is we make all the time is we ourselves allow these people to ride on our back to go and get what some of the guys have been sitting in our house for complete 2-3 terms. Look at the likes of Milton TLG, yeah? The likes of my own best friend, Dr. The guy from the Southeast, man. Okay, look at the likes of Setuma, all these people. Can you imagine? They've been there for a rack of ages. See, and there are people do not vote them out. So the people are supposed to ask themselves, what are we getting from these people that we send?
That's right.
You vote for these people every year, their life change, but you stay at this. In fact, you even depreciating. Okay, there is something called depreciation. It happens. So even if you buy new clothes, new shirt, or new trousers and put in a value, you use it. You put in a trunk. No, you say for complete 4-5 years. Go and look at it. You depreciate. You are depreciating, but then you make people to progress, and you continue to elect them year in, year out. So to answer your question directly, all of during all of my career time, especially when I was working in Liberia, I did not see this. This is the first time actually I'm seeing that a cheering squad will go to cheer the president when he's giving his annual address.
Yeah,
But the thing is, it's too embarrassing that you have foreign guests sitting over there. I mean,
no, that's why it shouldn't happen. That's why in the past it didn't happen, because imagine you got an American ambassador there, Tuesdays, then you got all the people, diplomats.
Yeah, but you know what I noticed when I was growing up, sometimes we want to make some correction, guys. You know what we have in Liberia called the executive horn. Probably heard that.
yeah.
When the president is president is speaking, that's a tradition. Like instead of clapping, we say make a very hallmark. He is period. The success he made. People say we want to appreciate, want to applaud that. Then they got the horn man at the back who blows the horn. The horn blower will say pom 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 pom. That is very common. That is what we know of in Liberia, where a guy will be blowing the president. That's traditional in Liberia. We remember even may he so rest in peace. They seen President Weah. Executive horn got
he died, I think 2-3 years ago.
2019 in February 14th, he passed.
Yeah,
car accident. So those are things we know of. It has been between from the past president that we call it executive horn, when the president makes a statement, a very good point, a salient point, and they'll say people are sitting there will be clapping, and the horn blower will say pom 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 pom. That's a common way to use it. But carrying squad like from Arsenal to the place. That's what they
and just to add, Paul,
it reminds me of the English hooligans, football hooligan from
Exactly.
And just to add, I also remember, I don't know if any of you remember, they used to have this band, the AFL band, or some traditional band, but they don't play when the president is talking. But at the end of the speech, when everybody coming outside, they can be playing boom boom. I remember that because I live on the bypass. But they were not placed inside; they were placed outside. That is not to appreciate, and that is when all the program finished, all the people going now, they just standing there playing. They are last to always leave. You see, but guys, I think we spent a lot on his charade. Should I call it that way? But let's go to the opposition respond, and I don't know if we're gonna get response from all of the other parties, because I'm not sure if the CPP spoke on behalf of all of them, but Mr. Cummiings, who is the Standard Bearer of the CPP ANC, did respond to the president's annual message today. And one of the things he said, of course, in the following days to come, we'll still be looking at the president's speech, and we'll also look at opposition reaction, especially from the CPP. But one of the things Mr. Cummiings said is that the state of Liberia is like without leader. And if the state has no leader, that means the state runs itself. It's like you got. Let me get paraphrase. Not exactly what he said, but let me get paraphrase. Then you got a horse. Yeah, nobody riding this horse. So the horse is just a loose horse. So it will run anyway. It can even run into a fire or into the water or run into a crowd of people or, just go astray. So if the state runs itself, there will be a lot of things that will happen. So, Paul, if you have excerpt from Mr. Cummings's address, can you all respond? Can you just let us see what he said?
Well, so I've got a little clip that will last about 7 minutes or 6 minutes. So, I mean, to hear from the house's mouth itself. So I'm going to roll with this thing in a minute.
Okay. While Paul is getting that clip ready.
The truth is that President Weah has weakened our republic. He has made Liberians poorer and continues to internationally embarrass our nation. For most of the last 6 years, President Weah was too busy playing, partying, and vacationing. It is okay to play, but when the president plays too much and does not do his job, the people suffer. The president did not know what he was elected to do, and still does not know what the president of our country is supposed to be doing. Leadership matters. Presidential leadership matters even more in our country. Unfortunately, until we change it, in our country, everything starts and ends with the president. The president leads the government to determine, for example, whether or not people have access to well-paying jobs, children have access to quality education, hospitals have beds and medicines to treat sick people, market women have enough customers to buy their goods to make profits, and taxi, keke, and pepe drivers have something to take home at the end of the day. This is why when the president does not know what he is doing, the country falls into serious trouble and the people suffer. Because President Weah does not know what he is doing, for 6 years our country has been running itself. When a country runs itself, the result is that nothing works. Everybody gets to do their own thing, even if it is against the law. Everything breaks down. Dirt piles up in the streets, risking people's health. Prices go up as the hard times keep getting harder. Businesses get harassed, and some are forced to close down or forced to sell to the president's friends. When the country runs itself, people lose their jobs. Those with jobs can't take pay on time. Every day, there is a new protest for something that is wrong, because protesting is the only way people believe they can get solutions to their problems. Streets, communities become unsafe. Crime goes up. Ghettos open up everywhere. The society becomes lawless, and serious investors either run away or refuse to come to our country. To put it simply, after 6 years of Weah's leaderless presidency, the state of our republic is weak, with no jobs, broken promises, no hope, no change, no security. We should also add that there is too much suffering and too much stealing going on. Things are bad and only getting worse. In 6 years, President Weah has dumped our country into a deep hole. And he has no idea how to get us out of the deep hole he has put us in. With nearly $2 billion they have borrowed, and the way they have spent it, mostly on themselves, they're not even digging holes to cover holes. They are wickedly digging new holes and throwing the dirt away. They are making the Liberian people suffer today, and all of this borrowing, stealing, and wasteful spending will make our children suffer to pay it back tomorrow. How can anybody say they love their country and do this kind of wickedness to the people? As if the hole they have put our country in is not deep enough. As if the suffering the Liberian people are going through is not already too much. The president is again making more promises and asking us to give him more time. President Weah wants more time so he can dig a bigger hole and make the Liberian people suffer even more. President Weah actually wants more time so they can steal to make themselves richer while making the Liberian people poorer. Well, Mr. President, enough is enough. Nobody's stupid yet. We will end your failed and leaderless presidency in October. Your sacking loading.
Paul, will you take it on? Oh, okay. You know, I don't know what you guys gather from that clip, but I gather thousands of things from there. You know, almost like every word he said meant something. So I will start with you guys. You will go around. Then I think I will give my own observation at the end of the play. They said ladies first, but sometimes not in all cases, but in this case, we'll take it lady first. You listen to Mr. Cummiings. He's the only political leader so far that have reported to the speech given by George Weah. What did you gather from there?
I got a lot of stuff, but
Okay, give us the important ones.
our time is up.
Good.
Plain and simple. Mr. Comey is just standing over there and standing on in front of the current Liberians that want to go ahead and vote again for George Weah to say, his time is up. We are tired. This president is having party, fly on, leaving you guys there, abandoning you guys. His time is up. That's how I got up. His time is up.
Good. Fair enough.
So long history. His time is up. That's it. It was enough being said that for like people to get a grip and say, enough is enough.
Good. I remember when I was in high school, we used to do French. So my French teacher always would put me outside. I already leave for deal me, get out. So Georgia, deal. Jamal, you listen to Mr. Cummiings. And this is just the top of the iceberg. Like I said, we'll be diving into the response and also the speech in the next coming days. So what did you gather?
Thank you very much, Linfo. One thing I will let you know, I like the tunes that Kumi picks up. He's sounding more like a local politician. He's not a conventional politician, but he's sounding like a local politician. Nobody's stupid here.
Talking at the level of the people.
Nobody's stupid here. We know you're not going to give you a chance anymore. That's why we want. He's resonating politically. and that he will continue doing that. The guy is a smart man, and he knows what is hurt, why he hurt. He may be well off financially and okay, but he knows why it pains in terms of how our people live. He lives with them now. You can't tell me he was living abroad. He doesn't know how the people feel. Every day, you know how many he hand out to people for them to survive on a daily basis? He feel it. So he's speaking from his heart. Look, he said the suffering, the stealing, and the wasteful spending of our money should be stopped. This is what I pick up from him. You know, and he telling we are all these lies you're making up. Now, one of the politicians, I think that's, if I could quote Jeremiah Wapo, he said, reading his comment, he said, he reacted before the president's speech. He said, going to be copy and paste. Copying and pasting. You know, the one you did the last time, you copy and paste and read it over. That's why I like that. This is what he did. And probably to another information here, other political parties, some have been making some reaction. I think Unity Party makes some reaction. They have reacted, and I think so other political opponents have been making reaction.
Yeah, that we really expected.
Yeah, they have done that already. But you know, the major one always Mr. Cummiings. You always the first day to come out and make a react. So to just give you my part of it is like he knows what he's doing. He knows his subject. He knows what he paints, and he's touching the points. Liberians are suffering, Paul. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we are suffering. And you know how many days they will call you. The increase into the call for help from home is getting too much. It's getting too much. The money they call this so-called harmonization, they're not getting the money. You cut the money down, we're going to help them build this one. Okay, the people agree to it. But now where is the money? They will later on, if you tell them you're going to get $50 a month, where's the $50 a month you're giving them? Then you're telling me the value go, they're going to be a hair factory, we're going to make this one, we're going to make that. I want to teach us. He didn't even talk about it. We're speaking about the youth challenge in our country, Paul. Gentlemen, sorry. The youth challenge, the problem is unemployment. The unskilled people youth have in our country. Those are the people that put into power. He didn't even speak about it. He came always on laws they are making, promising money going to youth program. Where is the money? I mean, this is something. Mr. Cummiings touched on it, and I know the way he keeps speaking like that, people get to understand where he's coming from. He's speaking to the core of the issue. What is the people suffering? Our people are suffering. They are stealing our money, and the government doing wasteful spending on things that are not necessary. Building hospital, you don't put medicine in there. Building market grants like market buildings, nobody's using them. Most of our people sell outside. You know, Paul, you are there in Moruga lately. People sell outside. They don't go into the building. If you put a market, they go outside and sell. They don't sell in the building. Of course, they are necessary, but they're not priorities for our people. The youth need a job. Our people need to go back to school. We want skilled people. We want our people to be resourceful. That's not what he promised us. When Mr. Cummiings will keep hitting them until the end of. We got 11 more months, roughly only 11 months to go. But we'll be hitting where it pains more to him. And the president, and I like one thing I want to make clear. One thing I like about Mr. Cummiings, when he addressed him, the president, he always called President George Weah. He never said George Weah. And one thing, he's very respectful man. So people should take that into consideration. They always say President Weah. Whatever you like or not, he's still our president, but he's not doing it right. Let's tell him. Paul said that he did something. He gave us the dual citizenship. Yeah, right. With limitations, with some conditions on it. With that, it's questionable. So we will talk about it probably in another program. But that's but anyway, to speak about it, the Standard Bearer of CPP, we did a great job. He hit where the president needs to be hit, and they are still stealing our money. We need to talk about it, and this is the platform. I think we should stay sing that song.
So, Jamal, before I talk, other politicians gave their rebuttal to this. Did T1 or GMB spoke today? Or
yeah, I think they came through that representative. I think somebody spoke from the Unity Party, and also I think the other side, the fraction part of the Liberal Party, other political parties. I didn't see anything from Honorable the presidential aspirant, but he may be coming. We'll still got some days to go. They are preparing themselves to come in, so we expect a lot to come up.
So Unity Party spoke, the other side or Liberty Party spoke.
Yes, yeah, I think I saw something like
So,
that.
but it's not a standard bearer of Unity Party. So Tewan and
No,
other
no,
make
yeah, it
Once
could
the
be
party
the
no.
secretary,
There's a reason why I'm asking that question, and I just wanted to. Is
and what is that
okay.
reason?
The
If you
reason
do mind
being
telling us.
that this Mr. Cummings appeared today very presidential, and he's waiting now to take up that challenge. That look, you fail us. You're one-term president. He said it in his own words that this office of a president is not for child play. This is where serious-minded people need to come in. You go around playing. The president job is not for play because our life depend on your decision that you made. He made it clear that it's not for play. So send a young man, my president. He good at playing sports and going into the studio making music. That's where he belongs. So this is a time that Liberia will take serious-minded people and let the country flow.
Before I
And
know you were coming, Paul is making some sense here. The only credible and respected politician we got right now that can challenge Mr. Weah or President Weah is Honorable Cummings. The old man who should have been considered to be the most experienced and supposed to be the president, next president, is running around having some medical help. You know that. For the past months or a year and a half now, he has not been any major political campaign or anything. So what do you expect? The only person who will listen to, Liberian would like to listen to right now is Mr. Cummings, and he has a message, and he's hitting them where they need to be hit. So Paul is saying it right. We expect like the Honorable Theo Bongo to come up, instead of using newspapers and radio stations, have press conference, tell us, let the press attend to it. And look, it's expensive to hold a press conference, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. In our country, it costs you not less than 5,000 to hold a press conference a day in Liberia. So nobody will ever do that. They run from the real office. All the politicians will sit in there behind a desk and make a press statement and just send it across so it'll be published in newspaper. Give a newspaper to publish it. Or run it as a Victoria. But you won't have a major press conference. So it's quite expensive. So I'm just thinking for me, you will not see it happening. If somebody having a major press conference, they will just sit in there behind all their dining room table. About 2 people around got some telephone faces in their faces and telling that they gave a press conference. It's not quite cheap. So what will happen at the end of the day? Those people that are coming out right now, they want to be president. At the end of the day, what they are looking for, they want to test the mark, the water, or they want to just come and get some support from the opposition that already make their mark. So Paul making some sense here. They won't come up and say to us, "Oh yeah, this is a challenge." Mr. Cummings, the only one had the stuff, to say I'm here, and who is the man? Come on, bring it on. That's because he's presidential. He's the man we should look up to. I think he will deliver for us, and that's the man.
And Mr. Cummings looks like he's very diplomatic, because, and one thing I'll say that Mr. Cummings is not vulnerable. He's not vulnerable. He is so strong-minded. He's fearless. Not like George Weah or JMB. He's not targeted. He's aware of being targeted, most especially by that Harry Costa guy. But Harry Costa know not to go close to Mr. Cummings to carry manipulation around, because Mr. Cummings knows that I know who you are, so don't come close to me. So this is a man that is, if the Liberians lose him for this job, they will regret.
yeah.
Yeah, Paul, you want to lead so I can come in with mine?
Yeah, so what I was saying, look at his appearance today. He giving a rebuttal to the sitting president that, hey, you've been fooling around for long. I'm here now to take over from you. And he making a case to the Liberian. We're not stupid anymore. We gave this man a chance. He had the opportunity, but he took the office for a joke. Earlier, we spoke on the cheering squad at that very important state address, the national address. And you saw what he did. It was a play thing they went for. So the country actually needs serious minded people to take the country to the next level. We are beggars in our own country. In the 21st century, Liberians, we're too good to be on the level. A lot of people learn from us, and we cannot be going back. And Mr. Commissary, he taking us back instead of we going forward. And when he's given the chance, which he will, Liberia will be another Liberia that other country will learn from. He said it in his speech that people will learn from. After he have taken over, they will see another Liberian. So he's telling the people, George Weah, thank you. He been played for President Weah. It's about time we decided to make you one-term president, and you are out come October 2023, which we already got, what, 9 months? So 6 months of intensive campaign to let the people know the guy is out. Linford?
Okay. Like I said, that 5-6 minutes clip from Mr. Cummings' speech, I gather more than 1,000 things from there. I can go on naming, but there are a few things, and the most important ones I got from there that relate directly to what we're discussing. Number one, he said, for the past 5 years now, this president has been playing. He's been goofing around. He thought 5 years was everlasting. Okay? And it reminds me of the parable that you cannot make your pig fat on the market day. You have all the time to feed a pig for it to get fat, but you were playing around, you didn't make a pig fat. Then they said tomorrow the market day, then you grab a pig. You start stuffing all the leaf and everything is stuffing so you can get fat. No, it will not get fat, it will still be the same. So now the president is trying to make his pig fat for this market day, which is elections coming, by promising the people salaries that he cannot even pay, that he will raise civil servant salary when he's always back pay for civil servants. So how possible is that? It's like you're supposed to give me 1 spoon of rice. You don't give me the same amount, but I'll give you 1 bag of rice. Oh, give me the 1 spoon for it. Let me be eating it before the bag of rice can come. Okay, that's one of the things that the president had been playing. Probably he thought that 5 years or 6 years was everlasting. Time has caught up with him. Freetown may also say, if you have to carry the cow, don't let it on yourself. Leave it clean and carry it. Okay? Then the second thing I gathered from Mr. Cummings' reporter is that President Weah has embarrassed or continues to embarrass our country. How? Look at what happened in the house yesterday. This is supposed to be the House of Honorables. This is supposed to be the place where the executive branch of government have gone to report to the legislative branch of government that make the law. Okay? But the president carries his cheering squad as if to say Manchester are going to go play Arsenal and they carry their own group so that when they score, they'll be clapping for them. And exactly that's what the cheering squad did in there. So that alone embarrasses the entire country and its citizens. You know, the part that gets to me is that we have foreign dignitaries in that place. And somebody who watched the program said, when this thing was happening, the American ambassador and all the other guys were looking at each other and talking something. Like, probably they were making fun. Are these the guys that run this country? Or are these the people that we're wasting our money on? Probably that's what they were saying. You see? So this government has embarrassed our country in so many ways, to the point that it went to donors' account and took money from there, probably thinking that the donors were not going to discover. When they discovered, then they said it was borrowing initiative. Borrowing. Paul, tell me, if I want to borrow your fine, what jacket you get over there? You know whom? I leave you a note. I didn't bang at your door. I sneak in when you go to work. Then I open your wardrobe and take your jacket away. When you catch me, then I say, oh, my man, I just borrowed from you, man. Oh, so how I will borrow your thing without letting you know or without asking you? See? So
it costs stealing.
But they give you a good name. They say borrowing initiative. So
that's stealing initiative. So that's the English word. You can't borrow somebody's jacket without informing them.
So you see, this government has embarrassed a nation or the people in so many ways. Another of the embarrassment is their government stealing that the international community have to come and say, I mean, tell me, you George, then you talk about fighting corruption, that you say that there your people are corrupt right under your nose, you don't do nothing. That Americans have to come from way America to come to sanction your officials before you can even have the mind to accept, because you didn't dismiss them, they resigned, they wrote letters of resignation. So can you imagine? Then how can you fight corruption? You talk about security. I'm just putting everything into a nutshell. You talk about security. The armed cash, the arms that they grab, they feel reportedly grabbed. They feel he talked about it in his speech, but he did not go in detail. What had happened to it? Who is possession, or the people who brought the arm? Who are they? What have they done to them? Nothing like that. He didn't mention it under security. What security is that? You know whose hand no guns will land? They will land in people whose hands are bad. Okay, then the next thing I gather from Mr. Cummings' short clip is that, it's time for Liberians to make the wise decision. And Liberians, you the voters, remember that the power that you have is your vote. This is why, no, even if you call Joshua and say, "Can sit down one of my feet here," he will sit down because he needs that one vote. And don't think, "Oh, I'm getting one man, what I can do." No, your one vote is very, very, very important. Okay, your one vote is very important, and this is why you see Joshua of all person, after 5 years, enjoy, is now coming to you to even promise that he will increase your father's money or your mother's money. No, so you young voters know that this man only wants your vote. At the end of the day, he will turn his back on you because that will be his last turn. He will not be coming back to you anymore to ask you. So you can go to wherever you want to go. He doesn't care for you as long as you employ him. So, Paul, I think our time is fast spent. So let's go to our next topic and say you got something to add to that.
Oh, well, the thing is, I think you said it all because we are is an embarrassment to the country, to be honest, and our people need to open their eyes.
Every time you guys say this thing, that President we have begun embarrassment, we can take it for fun, but that's true. Man
He
has
is
embarrassed us in
embarrassment to
every
the
way
country,
possible.
and that's it. Yeah, he is embarrassment to the country, and people need to see this that he is an embarrassment, so they need to move forward and bring
Okay,
people who
but
can.
the trumpet is sounding from everywhere now, and Mr. Cummings blew that trumpet today. That is, President Weah must get out. And you know what? They say the voice of man is the voice, or the voice of God is the voice of man indirectly. Now, what's happening? Prince Weah Johnson, who is Nimba County Senator, one of the vote richest county, in fact, the vote richest county in Liberia, Nimba County. Okay, except that this year it will be diluted because so many politicians are coming out from there. But Prince Johnson is pulling out of the coalition, and not only Prince Johnson. We understand that the MPP that is based also in Banga Bon County. Bon County is one of the vote rich counties. And don't forget, the MPP was also based in Lofa, the MPP was based in Nimba, the MPP was based in Picana. Those 4 counties are MPP stronghold before. They still got votes there, they still got people there. Now, they are threatening that some of their officials will not be attending the re-election bid for President Weah, which is slated to happen soon. I don't know, they said February 4th. They are threatening that they will not go there. So what was that signal to you guys? I mean, look, consider the Prince Johnson factor. The Prince Johnson is like never return anymore. Of course, we'll play the Prince Johnson clip. We can't there, but let's just look at this threat by the MPP people that they might not be going to that re-election rally. What was that signal?
Jemma, you want to step in first?
I see you wake up. You are muted.
You muted, Jemma.
You hear me?
Still
Yeah,
low.
low.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You see, the situation with what is happening with the honorable president right now, they failed to live. He failed to live with the promises he made, during the elections. He told the people we're going to work together. We're going to make sure we should see what we're going to make sure we share. We agreed on. There was a binding agreement, which if you fail to live by that, this is what happened at the end of the day. If you fail to live by that, this is what happened at the end of the day. Because what happened? And other political parties think, okay, go into a coalition for some reason. It's all interest-based. It's interest-driven. And you fail to live by that commitment. What happened at the end of the day? They pull out. This is what happens. That's the point. They don't live up to the commitments. So what did they do? They pulled out. This noise has been going on for a long time. At some point, you will see that even at some point, they sidelined it, the Honorable Vice President. Just lately now, they begin to work together. But before they were not giving her support. They were not giving her commitment. They what she needs to get as the vice president to run the office. And that was another hamstring for her leader for operation. At the end of the day, Mr. Johnson, Honorable Johnson, the senator is calling. If you see what he has said in his complaint or court issue was, he promised to help the people in Nimba County do other things. Nothing happened. And what George were doing, people that are around him, the person we are doing, people around him, that's why he gave his support to the money to. They're all enjoying. They are the richest guy around in the country. And the people that he partnered with in terms of correlation, they didn't get any benefit. So at the end of the day, if you fail to live up to the commitment, I pulled out, they pulled the plug on him. So that's what they're doing now. They're pulling the plug on him.
I think Jamal is right here. You see, when they came into the coalition, they came for a purpose. Other than it should have been power sharing. But then one group decided to seize the whole thing. And they've been there for 5 years. Your guys built mansion. The other people kept looking, backing them. Then you come back to them and say, okay, for another 6 years, while in the first arrangement, it didn't work. So anybody with sound mind, this is common sense. You not want to do such thing that the first term, they didn't help you. When he gave them second chance, where they're going to leave, they will help you. It's just common sense. So the guys are waking up to the reality. They went in the room with bunch of people who are not serious, and now they realize it, so they found an alternative.
Good. Okay. I'll go to Mary, but before I go to Mary, I will make this analogy. It's like like Paul said, you give the people the first chance. You all agree, and the people look at your and fail on the agreement. The second chance they want, when they get it, they will be going out. You got nothing on there again. They're not coming back to you again. It's just like the woman. I'm sorry that we got our sister on this show, but I just gotta give this analogy. The woman, you embark. I mean, you come to the woman and say, "I want it." The woman agree. You pregnant the woman. The woman then you run away with the pregnancy. The woman suffer and born a baby. Then you come back again. You say, "Oh," and I come back. Tell the woman agree again. You pregnant or then you run away. Then the third time you come back, you think that woman, you think she will agree, and she know that.
We'll call it.
The number of children increasing, you will run away. You will not come back again. I don't think that woman agree. So if I lie, I leave, we got our sister, she can attest to that. But
no, we'll call it a rape.
We'll call it a rape, man. I know what you mean. But Marie, look at it thing here. The people went into coalition. Then they all agree that they think that gentlemen, you go home. You say, "Well, kill the animal here. We all will cook it and divide it equally." Yeah. Then looking for your kill it. Then one man just take all the animal and carry to the home. You sit down, you start eating Drress. Then you're not so far. Then the man say again, "Oh, it's time for all to go hunt again." You'll not go. You think you will go? So just put into context.
No, he's not gonna go. He's probably gonna just say, "I'm not interested anymore," because you guys are not serious.
Because they say first fool, not fool, or second fool, not fool. Because first time you can come and fool me, but you gotta trust you. But the second time when you can't and you fool me, then I agree. That means I'm the real fool now.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think
But some
this
people
is
fool for a very,
yeah, go ahead.
some people can be fooled for a very long time.
Yeah. That's a real fool.
And people who are like that, they are just kind. It doesn't mean they are fool deliberately, but they are just kind fool. They see what's going on, but they're just trying to blindside it. So sometimes some people need to be careful if they're trying to, most especially in our culture, they need to be very careful when a person is kind. And a lot of people abuse that.
Yes. That's the real world right there. People take people's kindness for being stupid, and then they abuse it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what CDC wants to do. But okay, Paul and Chima and Mary, let me just throw it one quickly out. If the people that are in a coalition that want this whole thing and they begin government, if they can now see the light and begin to draw back, what do you think about the Liberian population, the populace? What do you think is happening? You think the people are opening?
Well, let me chime in this real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I was opportune to speak to a few motorcyclists today.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the diehard supporter of President Weah that put him there. And they were telling me, Bobby, the speech the man gave and the way the thing was going on in the house there, we ourselves confused, like no law and all that. Like you did that in a house, the children causing noise, you can't control them and how the house was looking. So I just said, this is what happened yesterday. Zokos are talking about it. People have realized they made a mistake. So if the pimping rather have realized that they made a mistake, then what do you think about people that went in collaboration with them, that they were playing? So, and these people that were playing, they're not Zokos, they are well-learned people. Let's look at it that way. So if they don't have common sense and decide to go with this group again, guess what's going to happen? They say first food are food, but second food is not food.
No. First food, not food, because you trusted
first food, not food, and so
but
second food is food.
then real food now.
It can be the third food. So
Yeah,
this
it can
is
be.
That's the situation they face with.
Okay.
And I don't know. So you can flow. Then we can talk about the other money grabber called Prince Johnson.
Yeah, but we're coming to Prince Johnson now. But well, that money grabber thing you're talking, Prince Johnson said something in a video. I think you got that video. And that video will come into now. But we tied a video in with President Weah, Lala story that he told in his speech that his government has security in tight. If his government has security in tight, how come that his own SS man got shot or killed himself? Oh, and Prince Johnson talked about that. We all know gun. During the war, we saw when they hit people with gun. We know one bullet is enough to kill anybody. Okay, because that bullet got something inside, some flash power that once it enter your body, when it flash, it will explode in your body and it will damage all of your nerves and you will die, especially in the head. That a security man will take gun. Security man who is trained, who know about gun, he know where to shoot human being to die. Then you will take it and shoot yourself 3 times in the head. Play that video. That's
right. So this is, and I think what Prince Johnson said here have summarized the whole thing about President Weah's speech. So let me see.
Let me ask you one question. Go ahead. If I had a gun right now and gave you to shoot your own head, or if you had a gun, when you shoot your head, what will happen to you? You are dead. Can you shoot yourself on the head 3 times? So what happened in Tabata? The lie. The truth needs to be told. Why can I sign your agreement? Do you believe I thought of Saul regime? Yes, sir. Do you believe that the revenue officials, top people, beautiful cars, both of them married and left their wife and husband home, and they were called to review something that ended up in their debt. And they come and say they were in the car having sex? Is there no hotel on Broad Street? If not, why don't you go to Happy Corner? Do you believe, church Liberians, that they were truly in the car having themselves? I would say it's a lie. As a man of God, ordained by God to preach the gospel of truth, I cannot background to go and sign the agreement. There are many reasons, and we'll go on and on. My wife, my beautiful wife, uncle, son, Lamo, and 2 others were sent for by St. Moses, and allegedly killed them, and said they drowned. No investigation. Nothing happened. Princess is from our home. They killed her, put the body in our compound. No investigation. Sorry, Gene. I see these things. I do my own security analysis. I've been trained by the West and locally 36 years of training. I see these things. It's too glaring. It's too glaring to say somebody took money and fired himself 3 times. It's too glaring. What will encourage me if I even wanted to sign? Is it money? No. So those who are talking, Prince Johnson is just talking so I can get him money to lie.
Now,
Yes, Linford.
did you hear what Prince Johnson said? Say, what will encourage me to sign a new agreement? They say money, because you see, I think there is something playing here. I don't know whether I should be the last to give you guys a chance, or let me flow. Let me be fair enough to you guys. So one of you can be last. There is something playing here. The pay-to-play thing that Prince Johnson was sanctioned for is taking effect. Prince Johnson wants to be innocent. He wants to appear innocent. He wants to prove guiltless, that he's not guilty. So he's saying, if it is money that will make me to sign, I don't want money. And the people who are saying, Prince Johnson just say all these things because he want to get money, they lie. I'm not going to take money. So for me, I think I see this Prince Johnson at the point of no return. I don't know how you guys will see it, but this Prince Johnson that is talking now, I think I see him at the point of no return. Because why? Number one, he has exposed the lies of this government that he's part of, or that he was part of, because he said the accusation that the EPS officer shot himself 3 times, it was a lie. Then he started a princess Koporting that no investigation up to now. She was murdered and placed in Fawa's compound. No investigation as of now. Then he also referenced the auditors that were found dead on Broad Street, and even said, "You wanted me to know people that they're not children, they're not children who drink high and see." Okay, so if they wanted to do anything, they can go to a motel, okay, or to some hotel. Broad Street, of course, is full of hotels and other things, or even go Happy Corner according to him. But why would they sit in a car? And no, there's one thing people. I've been hearing this government when they give the excuse that the people die of carbon monoxide. I don't know, because here in Europe, especially my part of Europe, saying this country is cold. Even in the summer, when we're driving, our windshield up all the time. You driving here, your windshield up all the time. We drive 4, 5, 6 hours, 8 hours. I don't see anybody die. They say because carbon monoxide thing in the car. I don't know. So I don't understand how the carbon monoxide will enter the car and kill people. So Prince Johnson is saying all of those things that lie. So, and this Prince Johnson that I was talking, I don't think that's the Prince Johnson that seems to be asking for money, or that is wanting to do pay for play, or play for pay, or pay for play, something like that. This is a Prince Johnson that looks like he is at the point of no return. I don't know what you guys feel.
Yeah, for real.
Alain will marry auditors. You can say yes.
Linford,
Yeah.
with the Prince Johnson allegation, I
Yeah, but
think.
I think Mary wanted to say something.
Oh, sorry. You muted, Marie.
Oh yes. The Prince Johnson, the Prince Johnson guy.
Mm.
Every single time I hear that name, I get PTSD. I'm not gonna lie, because that guy, just what he did to Samuel K. Doe, is so scary. And he's still being here on this day and age, still talking about shooting. If you have a gun, you shoot the person 3 times. When you want to shoot someone 3 times into the head, and see what he's doing. He's pointing the gun towards the head area. I mean, Liberia needs change. Liberia is begging people. We want to transition. We're tired because in this day and age, no. Liberia,
Yeah, but when you say that, I agree with you. It's a lot of people who, when they hear Prince Johnson name, when I saw Prince Johnson, it was when the ceasefire was on. We went to his base, and I was still afraid. And Prince Johnson sat right next to me on the same bench with my man in the US. Now I don't want to call his name. He was 6 journalists that left MPF area and went there. He was the first that laid out in there. And they got here and sat down, but all were dressing to the edge of the bed until my man was just sitting down on one side of the board and the other board was hanging. And you pinch me, see, my man. But we got stand up. So, Prince Johnson, the name Prince Johnson is terrible. We agree. But the point that Prince Johnson was making, when he even pointed his head to his head, this is a man who have been killing people. So, you know that one single bullet from his gun will kill people at a time. That's what he was trying to illustrate. Like when we used to be reading our kindergarten book there, or our first grade, second grade book, they'll make picture. That picture will translate what you're reading. He is saying that what the government said about that EPS soldier, or that EPS officer, that he shot himself 3 times in the head is lie. It cannot happen. Because one bullet is enough to take a man off, especially in the head. Okay, so when he was making an illustration, but it sounds bad, I know, because of the name Prince Johnson, it still creates fear. Okay, so I understand where you're coming from, but he is actually making a point right there. Yes, continue. I just want to interject that.
Yeah, so he's just trying to. Yeah, I'm so glad you kind of like explained it for me to have that much clarity, because I guess it was a bit critical for me to understand what he's saying about the 3 times. So basically, it's true what he's saying then, that you cannot shoot yourself 3 times.
No, not possible.
One shot, you are out. So basically, what I think Prince Johnson is trying to say is that George Weah government is fabricated. That's my takeaway. Is saying this government that is in power now is a fabrication. The other one guy, we didn't get no research, no evidence. Nobody got put to justice. This other person died. Nobody got put to justice. So it's why I said backwards. It's like it's the same war stuff that is going on, but it's going on in an intelligent way. That's what he's trying to say.
Okay, Paul.
Well, let me make a quick announcement for you before I flow, and I just want you to take us this through, Linford, this announcement. Talk to me.
Okay. If those of you watching, this is the first time. This is the man you see on the screen is Mr. Alexander B. Cummiings. He's a standard bearer for the CPP ANC, and he's running to be president of Liberia in 2023, or this year, come October. And Mr. Cummiings has been reaching out to almost every part of Liberia in the interior part, talking to people, and now he's been visiting several places. He went to America. In fact, every time he goes to America, but he's been in Europe once. That was last year, July. We invited him to come to Europe. And this year, since this is election year, we are also inviting him to come again. Last year, he was in Germany, in the city of Hanover. This time, he's coming to Scandinavia, the land of the Vikings. And we Vikings, we are serious people. So he's coming here on the 14, 15, and 16 of April. That just make it 1 month away, 1.5 months, because tomorrow is February. So we got only February. And you know, February get 28 days, so it's not long. So make your plans in between there. Those dates, 14, 15, and 16, Mr. Cummings will be here. If you are anywhere in Europe or in America or anywhere in the diaspora and you can afford to make this trip, come to Sweden in Stockholm, Mr. Cummings will be there. And if you can't make it at all, okay, we hope to have the same program here, Mr. Cummings live, and you can ask all of your critical questions, you know, because a lot of you live on stuff that people feed you. People tell you, say, John Brown can fly. Oh, you don't even want to know how John Brown can fly, but you believe it. So come to Sweden and ask Mr. Cummings all of your questions that you've been, things that you've been hearing, your doubt, he will clarify. When he was in Germany, he spoke to people and people came with questions and he answered all. So he's going to be here in April, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th. That's just 1.5 months away. So make it part of your plan to come and be a part of the program. It's not only going to be political team. We're going to have fun. There will be program, launching of I mean, or not launching, but what do you call that? The endorsement of Mr. Cummings. The group in Sweden or in Scandinavia will be endorsing Mr. Cummings. So come there and let's all have fun. You don't need to be ANC supporter. Okay? In fact, we want the CDC people, the Unity Party people, you all come with your questions and listen to Mr. Cummings. And then when he answers you, from there now, you can start working in your own head. What do I do at this point? So that's it. It's going to be the 14th and the 15th and the 16th of April. That weekend, come and spend a weekend with us in Sweden. All preparations are done. Okay,
Yeah.
Paul.
Thank you, Linford. I think it'll be the Easter weekend too. So if someone looking for Easter break, they can come to Sweden. It'll be in Stockholm. So Liberians will be there. People from Norway, Denmark, Finland, they will all be gathering in Sweden itself. They'll be gathering over there, and other Liberians from other part of Europe will be flying over there. So let me learn with my man Prince Johnson. This money grabber Prince Johnson have been stealing money from Liberian people, and that's why he was censured, pay to play. It seems to me that Prince Johnson now have found himself in a situation that he himself cannot handle. Remember, Prince Johnson was censured, and whoever does business with Prince Johnson will also be punished. Now, President Weah knows he been briefed on this. And he want Prince Johnson to support him from the back end, not from the front. And Prince Johnson now know he looking for security, because if he signed paper with President Weah, his second term, Prince Johnson could be delivered to the war crime and economic code that he avoiding. So Prince Johnson now have realized that no, I can't do business with these guys. So
Wait.
let me finish.
Wait. No. I think I'll play the Royal Santron can play. Wait. Let me hold you right here.
Don't take me out of that thing here, because
No, Paul, your flow. But wait, you made a point. I don't want to forget. I think Jemai will come in, but you made a point. Now, Prince Johnson, the sanction pinching him. Okay, but at the same time, President Weah is still wanting his support. But if you want to support me, don't support me openly, support me from the back. Then Prince Johnson said, no, my man, I can't take the risk. At the end of the day, even if I support you at the back, when anything happens, you will tell me, oh, so is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And Prince Johnson, he smelled a rat, said, no, this guy, they're not supposed to do business with me. If I do business with them, this is what's going to happen. And we are one team from the back.
But you think it will be risky? You think it will be risky for we have to stay want to do business with Prince Johnson?
Well, the thing is, he supported them from the start. So
yeah, but you were not in session at that time.
Yeah, but when it's not public, right? And then they do a secret that he can go the same way, oh, you're voting, it can happen.
Okay.
But Prince Johnson smelled it rather, no. This guy promised us before, if we sign or deal with them, they may end up dumping me. So Prince Johnson is now finding someone else that it's almost like George Weah, where Ellie he came out and said, I will protect Ellie and her children, President Ellie and the children. Prince Johnson is looking for some kind of person out there to say, oh, I will protect you too. So don't be surprised that Prince Johnson is in talk with other people, because some people in Liberia are desperately want to be president by all costs, even in their dying grave. It could be that some sort of backhand information or negotiation is going on for Prince Johnson to come openly now to say, look, people have been murdered under this man and nothing have happened. We have seen it, and we're not stupid yet at what Mr. Cummings said. So all of this indication is there that I know these guys, you can't do business with them. They are not trusted people. That's what Prince Johnson is saying here. And that's a clear-cut message. So I know Jamal have a different view on this, but I think this is where Prince Johnson coming from. He's not talking about money anymore. He's talking about his own safety.
And that's exactly what Paul said. Where is the security? If Prince Johnson can, if not, I can open, you will know I advance librarian, most especially in thinking.
Mhm.
Oh,
So, but Timao can't talk to us here. Prince Johnson here. Prince Johnson said people accusing him of taking money, but this time now, he not talking about money. He not still a lie. Prince Johnson is you know, a reborn. I call it born again. So he said, district and living. Bring million and living.
Thank you very much. Do you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
We hear you well.
Prince Johnson, I don't think, I always say something. Prince Johnson should not be a guy we should be discussing. Prince Johnson is not trusted. Prince Johnson should not discuss with you, whether he's afraid of something coming for him or he after something after him. First and foremost, Prince Johnson used his pulpit to get to you for political rhetorics. Should be preaching the gospel, calling that he's talking the truth. You can talk the truth anyway. You don't have to use that place to just throw jabs at people, first and foremost. Georgia was doing that as a Jamaica resort at some point, right? And that was something that we were against. Now, it says the same Prince Johnson today talking about the death of the auditors right now. Why would this happen? How many years happened months ago? Those things happened months past. What was the reaction? What was the reaction? This is today you're talking about. Now you're talking about other things that passed. Because he's falling out with the president now, he's telling us what he doesn't believe, he doesn't want money anymore. So he giving us, he's the guy he thinks that we come and say something, he make news. So we almost are helping to promote him. The guy is just a guy need to be arrested and then he faces days in court. That's why Prince Johnson need to be done with Prince Johnson. He has a case. American won him. I mean, the crime against him. They need to be investigated. Prince Johnson need to. The day he traveled abroad, he's finished. And what Paul said right now, when he because things are numbered, and he's trying to find a way to get a good side of the international committee where they will keep you until retirement. But the chance of winning is also slim. One second to that, he's a guy using the church to deliver nonsense. He should not be allowed. Then he used the church to preach the gospel. And when this is something funny. It only happen in Africa. Look, when people who are involved in doing these criminal things, they do terrible things for people. At the end of the day, to return to be born again. He said, "Oh yeah, what I did, I was wrong. I'm born again. God forgive me." This is wrong. It happened with the blind guy. You know about this guy, born naked. Something happened again. He was a born again. He had his own church running. You shouldn't be accepting these things. They don't happen in the West. Before you go to church, go try and face the Lord, the full weight of the Lord. Then you can open a church later, or you can put a religious center later. I mean, seriously. Finish that, you can put whatever you want to preach. You said all
but your president have a church.
No, the president using it for popularity reason. We know what he's doing it for. But is he going to church nowadays? It's much more. Since the past, one of his king's maker, McGay, left the space. Is he going to church anymore? He will help.
Yeah, he goes. Just listening. He's not
throwing jobs at people. He's not that much active like he used to be before. You see how disorganized the president is now. You can see that somebody around here has left his advisory board. But I'm going back to now with the president. I think the president I thought is we had a due paid. Going to Prince Johnson, we shouldn't allow these things to happen. It happens in Africa very often. They use the religious centers to get at us after they committed heinous crimes. We know what the Prince crime is profound. We all know about it. There's nothing you can hide about it. And this guy needs to fail. Let's agree that he's innocent. Let him have to. Why is he afraid to go to the court? Let him have a day in court to prove himself innocent. He's doing all the political games to make sure that you will not get a chance to go to court. He did it with George Weah. George Weah this time will deliver him. He wins. Consider George Weah wins tomorrow, he will deliver him. But now George Weah thinking that one thing is probably he may not want to align with Prince Johnson for the fact that when Prince Johnson has a, when before Prince Johnson was sanctioned, he was sanctioned. They had an agreement before Prince Johnson was sanctioned. Now he's sanctioned, so it's hard to deal with him right now. So he's in a very terrible situation. So my saying, Prince Johnson should not be using the church to as a way he will use it as a press conference, because God, you see people say that they're hailing this guy, saying, and the preacher, the good preacher. What is not going? What wrong with us, guys?
Yeah, but okay. Let me switch it this way. Or I agree, but I agree with you, Jima. But you see, Prince Johnson, the question you asked, why at this time? Why he didn't say many years back? But Prince Johnson was part of that coalition. Okay, it's like your head can be in a leper more.
No. He said he's a man of God. You heard him say he should
Exactly.
to preach the truth. Consider when he became the senator, he started running. After a year or two, he opened a church. Fine, it's a good church to open. Whatever happened, he should be telling us in a church. But now he's telling us those things that happened before, even with telling that he will not support Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings support gay rights, but he took money from Mr. Cummings. He didn't tell the man, he came and told us in the church. And so what happened there? He used the church to deliver. It's a medium of communication. I'll tell us this. Instead of having press conference, what Mr. Cummings does. Normal press conference, I just told you guys a few minutes ago that people will not hold press conference. They'll have behind a very dining room table to deliver to us. Mr. Johnson is using the church to tell us nonsense. I mean, nonsense.
So at this point now, the biggest question anybody would want to ask is the kind of low on Prince Johnson here that he carry around. Where will he deliver it?
He need to just wait, and the day will be. He has to have a days in court. I mean, he can't keep running all around, man. The days are numbered. That's simple.
But he got a good chunk of votes, And some people will need it.
Oh, that what chunk of that? Those are something like you're telling me like Nimba County is for Prince Johnson. That's why he's sounding like
no. I said he got a chunk.
Yeah, but that means
he got a piece of it. This is something where you can't dispute. Let me tell you one thing. Prince Johnson has people. No matter what, Prince Johnson will still have at least 100% behind him.
I said it one time on the show. Even the devil has people. The devil has people. Prince Johnson has people. You even have people. If you talk one, you got people that support each and everyone on the floor. We have people that we talk about who will vote. But let me tell you something. His support, his popularity is declining. Has declined with the new spring of politicians in Nimba County.
But this is where the importance of noting that he still got people, whether it declined, but he still got people. That we should need.
Yeah, because you know what, he did for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
He put a life on the line to fight for so-called fight for Nimba people. So that means it's like he mortgaged his life for the people of Nimba County. Then he gave him a price. The price was to give him that seat as a senator for Nimba County. So anytime he goes to his local, the people are coming after Doan's people are coming after you. And I took my life on the line. I did this for you. You need to pay me back.
Okay, but so the question I'm asking here is, let's just assume that Prince Johnson got only 100 men there.
Yeah.
100 people that support him that high, whether he does it or die with him. So now he's going around looking for a place to go. Who's going to accept him? Whether the ANC, Unity Party, the other side of Liberty Party, or CDC Party, I don't see.
I think the chance of this is a political game. If I were in a situation, I wanted to aspirant. We have to have a discussion for Prince Johnson. Look, you are Liberian, I want your vote. I'm a politician, I want your vote. But on the ground that you have your days in court, if you agree that, let's agree that we'll provide the legal support for you. You got a days in court. But I can't avoid that, because if you don't do that, you may not have the support for international community. The funders that are coming into the country, they all may be hot. That may not come through. That may be stalled. So definitely, I will sit with you and tell you, I need your vote. You're Liberian. You deserve the vote. I need your people. But can we agree on that? If you agree on it, then I'll bring you on board. Or else you can't put yourself in a situation where at the end of the day, when you win the election, Prince Johnson is there and the people want him. When they came for Taylor, nobody could stop that. You know that? Coming for Taylor, nobody could stop that. The only way they came for Taylor, because the people, the West, need to want to take Taylor. Nobody in Africa could take Taylor away. Nobody could have done that. So if they want Prince Johnson and you are empowered, they'll get him.
But the Jamal, the thing is, with the revelation Prince Johnson have made, isn't that thing that he have now, what the Nigerians will say, he have putting Sen into George Weah Gary, the President Gary. That is all of the thing Mr. Cummings said earlier in his video, that this man, he took this job as a play job, and the country is now safe. And Prince Johnson now seeing the same thing. So is he not telling that we will be one-term president?
Yeah, that's another point. And also to tell you, we always say we forgot about the presidential candidate, Honorable Theo Gongolo. He's another factor to look into. Jeremiah Wapo is another factor. The other Jeremiah Kuna making presidential candidate. Those are factors that people in Nimba County listen to also. Those guys most of them have clean record compared to Prince Johnson. The factors of this godfatherism, political godfatherism in Nimba County has declined. And the issue of he winning, he got 200 people, fine. But now, 2017 election, he got a real majority of vote. It's not going to be like that anymore, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. The issue is Prince Johnson is a dying man right now. His days are numbered. He just needs to make sure he faces the weight of the law. He can't just go, I want to this, he wants to say the truth, he wants to tell us the truth. This is happening in Liberia. He should have told us some time ago. He knows how things happening with him. He's not telling us. A lot of things he's done. Prince Johnson, when the statement he made in that TRC committee, he made a lot of stuff. You said it at one time. He made a lot of stuff, but that was not true. And now we know a lot of people make a lot of comments whether they were not true. And Prince Johnson is trying to weigh away. And anytime he makes sure he know that he's going to make news. Oh, I'll go to the church this Sunday and make something, and they'll take it as a news. Tomorrow he's going to be in the headlines news because Prince Johnson spoke. Because the part he played in Liberia, that's what makes him important. And that's what making him a newsmaker. But let's not take him serious. You could try what tomorrow consider President Weah say I will not turn you over. President Weah consider I'm not going to turn you over. Yeah, he was okay. You know what? George Weah is my good friend, my son. I will make sure that we understand. He will listen to me. I will advise him. You know how he speaks. He's a very good talker. You know him. But the problem is,
the bottom line here, Chima, I think.
I'm from Nimba. Let me say, my man, I know you're also part of Nimba. Nimba can't be smart. You can't be fooled anymore. And the generation that come over there, they are sensible people. Those years that passed, they use our people to fight against each other. Those are gone days. It's not going to happen anymore. Go back to Nimba. You see how things are going. Nimba is one of the very industrial places in compared to most of the county in Liberia right now. Things are changing. The mindset is changing. People got to understand that. The politicians, what they do, they prey on the vulnerability of our people. They exploit the ignorance of our people. They prey on the ignorance of our people. And that's why we got that war to where we are today. So the problem of Nimba County is going to get clear and clear. Nimba County is going to be one of the best counties in Liberia because it was the epic center of the war, and the generation that come here are trying to understand what was the cause of this fighting. How can we resolve this and come together? And this is why you can see. Go to Nimba. You've been out of Liberia for a very long time. Go see how Nimba looking. You can pay $200 hotel per night. Nowhere in Liberia can spend that, except in Monrovia, where you have that five-star hotel. So I'm just giving you the outline to see what's going on in that county. So Prince Johnson factor is great. It's a death story right now.
Okay, so but I think the bottom line here is that the Prince Johnson thing he's really looking for protection. So whoever, even though he has pronounced that his marriage with the CDC is over, but if the CDC will come back tonight and say, well, we agree, will protect you. You think he's going to go by? I think that's the bottom line. You trying to let us know.
Yeah, well, CDC need vote. Basically, the way George Weah is a dying man, you may want to accept him, and he did it for the President Ellen. But Ellen, whether you like her, Ellen is a very popular person outside, so nobody will do anything wrong to Ellen. With all the crowd we made during President Ellen period, nothing happened. The car, the other story, the shouting that we're doing, that whoever accused Ellen out, she's well received outside, she's well revered outside compared to Prince Johnson. So if he can give that, look what happened to the bank, the disappearance of the money when they arrested one of the president's sons, and they later releasing him. The case is dead. So Prince Johnson is a dying man. He's trying to find George Weah may not accept him on a condition that if he will turn him over. But the American will tell George Weah, if you accept Prince Johnson alliance, you must turn it over to us. That's going to be a case to look into for us.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I think we've exhausted almost everything everything that we had on our docket, and it was a good discussion. Less than 1 minute each. The time is 11 minutes past 10 o'clock from my end, and 11 minutes past 9 o'clock from your end. So maximum 11:16. So we are 3 here. We take 2 minutes. 1 minute each.
Wow.
This one is tough. Okay, we are 4 now. So 1 minute each at 4 minutes.
Let me go through. Let me take it.
So you were saying hag here.
I was saying hag here. I mean, we need to know. That's not part of my 1 minute. When we sit here because we are Liberians. We sit here because we want the good for our people. Mm-hmm. We all have something to do. We all are very busy with different countries. And probably our people don't understand why we are sitting here wasting time. They say, they talk rubbish because they have the opportunity to sit on the Facebook and talk. It's not about that. It's about that country is our heart. We know what it's like when you're out here. We want to go home. We want to see our job. We also want to go home and help our people. We want our people to also live a better life. That's why we are here. I think that's why we're here. And we need to be honest here and talk the truth. And that's why I like the platform. We say what we think is right. It's our own perspective. But I will tell Liberians, the election is coming. And we know what we are going through right now. We should vote the right person. And we say, we don't know who to vote for. I don't like those kind of statements. You had the opportunity to look at the various candidates that are on, their names are there. Find out if you want to know your country to get better. Mr. Cummiings had one of the best records in terms of making things better. I mean, we've seen in Rwanda, other countries, they didn't come from the blue sky, they work on it. Mr. Cummiings can deliver that. And that's why we're telling them, vote the man in, will change our country. There's a positive and real change is coming. That's why I can tell the people, whoever is listening now, tell them, who is Mr. Alexander B. Cummiings, check on him and ask any questions. If you don't know, ask us. We'll allow you to talk to him. He's not a very pompous man. He will speak to you. So we want better change in Liberia. We've got another 11 months to change our country. So the change is in our hands. We will do so the right to vote. Let's vote the right person into power. Thank you.
Marie?
That's
Your voice.
I think it's the internet.
am I here now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. I like the way you lay out. Oh, so healing. It was I thought that
It's breaking up, Marie.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to come a bit closer actually. Yeah, see, I don't know if I can add more to what Mal said out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we just need to kind of like wake up and accept our transition and tell Josh we are politely in coming October. We are very sorry. We love you very much. We know you love football. We know you love to play music. We find out we thought we was voting for the leader to go in the house to take the job. life in a very kind of positive way. But we unfortunately we got a musician, and also we got a football player, a coach, and we don't want that. We want a leader that will come and help us in the private sector, develop the private sectors, help us with infrastructure to help develop and build out some research centers, some health and social care, charitable place. We need these things. So, as my colleagues say, I don't know if I can even add anything more than he said. I know Paul is gonna come in and just add even more because me I observed, Josh, I'm so sorry, but it's time to go.
Wow. So Linford, Jamal, and Marie. I think we had a good show here, good discussion. But one thing I want to make clear to us Liberians, we have the present, the past, and the future. 2023, this year, October, Liberians have the opportunity to get rid of the present and look at the future and forget about the past. What do I mean? The same old people have been like a recycle in Liberia, from the legislature to the executive to the other branches, three branches of government. This is about the time that in this 21st century, Liberians should look elsewhere. Somebody who have not been tested in that corrupt system. Someone who is coming in with clean hands and equity. I may say. So we have the past, which is the Unity Party, the present, which is CDC, the future is Mr. Cummiings / ANC CPP. He comes with something that is not there, and he said it in his rebuttal statement today. Gave me the opportunity, you will see a different Liberia, a Liberia that Ghana, Nigeria, and other people will emanate. This is the time that we look for better leaders. It's not about time going back to the past and seeing this person popular. This is about seriousness to take Liberia to the next level. Liberia need to go into gear. George Weah, President Weah government has sent us back. We need somebody to start the car and take us to that level. So I'll ask my fellow Liberians should open their minds, their ears, and listen to what Mr. Cummiings is saying. He is the future now. It's not the past, it's not the present. So people should look at him from that direction. I submit.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul, Jima, and Marie. I think we've all said a lot, and of course, like we always say on the show, these are our opinions. They are not right and they are not wrong either. That's just exactly what we feel, and nobody can dictate to us what we say or what we feel or what we want to do. And this is what the bottom line is all about. And to our viewers, we want to say thank you very much for being there. Disregarding no more, but the message is what matters. And the fact that you stick with us throughout the program, that gives us the courage. And we pray that as time goes by, the viewership will increase, but that's not the priority. The priority is that we pray that we'll give you the correct information as you need it. And so let me get in my closing. I want to say that, Liberia, we've been making the same mistake over and over, and we always sit and cry. I mean, what is wrong with us as a people that we sit and we know where we are slipped and falling? Then we still, when we wake up, we don't look at where we fall. We still come back and fall to the same place and we cry again. Then somebody will come, then we expect somebody to come and lift us up. So it's about time that we wake up, since we are falling. It's about time that we wake up and say, oh, this is where I fall. Don't look at what caused you to fall, or don't look at how high you fell, but look at what caused you to fall. The thing that caused you to fall, you remove it. If there was a stone that you stump your toe on and fell. When you wake up, you try to remove that stone because you know you always pass that particular route. So, like my colleague said, we need a new Liberia. And how do we get a new Liberia? You know, many times I hear people talk to Mr. Cummings, they say, oh, the man say he want change, then he taking the same people. No, we're not talking about creating new people in Liberia, probably, and what color scheme we're getting. No, it's the same people that we want to govern, the same Liberians, but we can instill new ideology, new way of thinking into their minds. And that is not impossible, it can happen. Those of us who are Liberians, who travel from Liberia, we came to different people country, we copy what they do. So it means that anybody can adapt to anything new that you introduce to them. So we will need a new Liberia. And in order to build a new Liberia, we're still going to work with the same old people in Liberia, but we have to introduce new ideas and new ways of doing things. That's what the change is all about. And so Mr. Cummings is that change agent. Now, and if we can get Joshua a time to try, it's fair enough that we give other Liberians time to try too. Mr. Volker has a time to try for more than 40 years, and he has gone to the second highest seat. Now it's time for Mr. Cummings to try. It's time for him to lead. Give him that opportunity. Because if you don't do it, tomorrow you know, and our best judge is our conscience. Tomorrow you'll be walking in the street, hey man, why I didn't vote for that man? I should have tried that man. Your conscience will continue to judge you. And you know, when your conscience is judging you, there are no jurors to say, oh, the jurors will come and decide the case. No, it's between you and your conscience. So at this point, we want you to make the best decision. Try Mr. Cummings. Give him the opportunity. Let him prove himself. He has given you, or he has told you what he can do. Okay? And so we'll be here on Friday. Today is Tuesday, and this is the last edition of the of the program for the month of January. And we want to be grateful to God that we made it through this month. Now we are entering a new month tomorrow. The first edition for February will be on Friday. We hope that you will be here. And don't forget, Mr. Cummings is coming to Sweden in April. And he's going to be with us that April weekend from the 14th to the 16th. And it's going to be a very much interesting, important programs will go on. And if you have any question, you don't have to be a seditian. Any Liberian from any party is welcome. All Liberians, wherever you are welcome to come to Sweden, Stockholm. So, Paul, let me say thank you very much to Jima is by screen. And Marie, you are the only lady here tonight. You did well. Orita was not able to make it tonight. So we want to say thank you to you guys. And Paul, you want to take us home?
Yes, let me make a quick announcement. I guess next week, I know Orita will be on the show and she will be hosting some controversial pricing, Perfect Keys. So that confirmation will be here next week. And also the program we have on Friday, we have after the program, we have 2,2.4 viewers that went up to watch the show after. So people do watch the show after this, although the number is small, but people do follow. So don't be surprised that the number goes. So we have 2,400 viewers on talk about the Stentor Witherspoon allegation. So we shouldn't be surprised. So
and thank you for reminding me. You know, I had a friend who came in my inbox and she was on my back. She said, you guys are doing well, but you know, you got to be strong. You got to be strong. You got to push. That means we got to punch. And I told her, I said, well, we will. But, you know, we try to be moderate. Not that we can't sit and do all this and say all these things. We can. But, you know, again, we got to respect our viewers. We got to respect the people involved, the people that we talk about. But, you know, when time comes that you have to remove your gloves and throw the punches, we'll do it.
Yeah, so on that note, I want to leave this message from Mr. Cummings himself to tell Liberians why he should be the one. So, guys, stay tuned. And for those of you who first time following us, just click the like button. When it comes on, you'll be notified. So, on that note, I will say, listen to this message from Mr. Cummings.
There 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. So after job creation, our next priority is agriculture. We are a country, after 170 years, that do not fear ourselves. Last year alone, we imported over 160 million United States dollars in rice import, and total food imports was over $280 million. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves, and my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we are focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our 5th priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is, first, we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So, for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country. Is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. it will not be good enough for you just to resign. So those are the things we will do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government. Because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the how's. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior